right, episode 5. Got James here today, who's member of the gym, purple belt, fundamental instructor, fundamental part of the gym.
Thank you.
How are you, man?
Yeah, good. It's
Good.
good to see you. It's been quite a while.
I know, too long. It's been like, what, March?
Yeah, literally. So
That's insane.
yeah, time's
That's
flown.
insane.
It's actually good to see some real faces again.
Yeah, man, can't wait. It's just, the podcast has been fun for that.
Yeah.
Getting
Like I was
people
saying
catching up.
earlier as well, it's been good for me to sort of start getting in touch with the team again, I guess, having been away for so long. So
Makes us feel together again, mate.
absolutely.
Yeah. No, it is good. How's things? What have you been up to during the pandemic?
Yeah, I don't know. Time's just flown. So I guess like everyone, we started off just doing a few things at home. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
We wanted those people down at Bunnings, I think, just grabbing a few things and installed some new ceiling fans and gardening and
Good time to do it, but
yeah, that's it. So all those things we've been putting off for a while.
yeah, got around to
Did
doing
that.
it.
Just did the house up a little bit, and then when we could travel, we just did a bit of travel.
Yeah, you're a bit of an adventurer, aren't you?
Yeah,
You like to do stuff.
love to get out and about. So went to the Grampians and been there for quite a while, so that was good. And then down to Wilson's Prom.
Yeah, cool.
So that was when regional just opened up. I was like, okay, I'm getting out.
Yeah. Well, I think we went for a drive just for the sake of going for a drive. When they said we could, we were like, all right, let's go somewhere. Let's go do something. Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, there's so much around this area as well. Like
That's true.
So that's what I've been doing more recently. Just last weekend, went out a few places I hadn't been. Just looked at the map and thought, we'll go check that out.
I need to do the same thing, man.
Yeah.
Lived here forever, and like I didn't realize until I moved to Melbourne for a while, and then I moved to Melbourne. It's like, man, that's such a good area. There's like everything, beaches, like caves, snow, rainforests, freaking everything.
Yeah, just magic around here.
Yeah, really close. So you don't really if you grow up here, it's just like you get used to it.
Yeah, it's surprising though. You hear some people they did grow up here and they still haven't been to half the places.
Absolutely,
if you go
I guarantee you've been to more places around here than I have.
Probably.
Yeah,
quite likely.
I have no doubt, man. Yeah, I don't know why that is. You just take it for granted, I suppose, and I'll get around to it. And
exactly, I'll do it. In the future, like a couple of months, years ahead, or whatever, and then time just passes, and before you know.
How long have you been here now?
So it'll be 3 years in the coming Feb. So
wow.
So yeah, time flies. So
yeah.
I was thinking I've been with the gym for a little while now.
Yeah. That's
I was trying to remember how far into my move to Bairnsdale it was where I joined up, but I don't.
How many Christmas parties have you been to?
I remember one.
Okay. So probably just over 12 months.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Seems about right, doesn't it?
I think that does sound about right.
So I must have, I think with the move, I must have just got settled in, and it's like, okay, I've got to get back into training now.
Yeah.
Come down, and it's been good.
No, it's been awesome having you there, man.
No, I think it's like, most people, if you're into it, you've been training a while, you just find wherever the gym is and seek it out. And
well, like I was just talking about before, that woman who wants to join the gym from Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
So
hopefully get that. We've got all different levels and build the club. And
Reese, Cam, all those guys are all like blue belts from elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they bring a different thing to the club. It's good, man. I like it.
And even, I mean, the guys who were white belts when I joined and just newly started, and now they're moving up the ranks, and
there's a few of those.
And they're keeping us honest too. Like,
aren't they? Aren't they what? Yeah.
I think there's a few times I've been to class and I'm like, oh man, I'm getting really bad. Like I'm starting to really suck, but it's the other way around.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it's that, man. Yeah, it's just
those guys are improving,
and they're at white belt, man. You're so hungry.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I mean, I'm still hungry anyway, but it's not the same.
No,
especially being a bit younger as well, and all those things play a part, I think. Yeah. But you got to keep on your toes, man. Like, I think I got stuck in Rowan's guard a little bit at one point, and I was just like, all right. I'm not going back there again for a while.
Yeah.
I just didn't expect it. Like, he's full of surprises, and some of those guys are. Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few. I mean, Riley, the same thing. He's guard and he's
don't let him inside control.
Yeah, it's just so those guys keeping us honest for sure.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's good to see the gym getting that kind of depth.
Yeah.
Because like it started with me and Seth just rolling. You know what I mean? So, then I got my blue and so on, and and Seth, and it was good to give Mark his.
Yeah.
He was so deserving of it. He started his jiu-jitsu journey elsewhere, but joined us and had been with us for freaking 4 years or something.
Yeah.
I mean, he really should have had it a long time before he got it, but I'm glad I just finally got to give it to him. So yeah, that was good. And Charlie, of course.
Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah, that was good to see.
We're gonna give him a blue belt smashing as soon as we can.
That was the only disappointment, wasn't it? We couldn't get involved with the promotion.
I know, man. Yeah, that was it. Was a hard thing to decide to do. Like, there was a few things that played a factor in that, though. Like, he is going to the academy.
Yep.
Real soon. So something had to be done.
Yeah.
But that isn't why he got his blue belt.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously. Like Seth said, I'd been toying with it for so long. With the idea of giving him his blue belt. And I spoke to Ninos. Ninos gave me his blessing to do it.
Yeah, I heard that.
And that's all that mattered.
Of course.
And as long as he gave me that, then I was like, all right.
Yep.
Got to do it, man. And then I figured doing it on the podcast would sort of give everyone an opportunity to experience it, be a part of it in a way. And
yeah, no, that was great.
So it worked in the end. Yeah.
Sure did.
Yeah. So usually I would start off by asking you, everybody, the same question. How and when did you get into martial arts?
How and when?
Yeah.
I guess I did have a little bit of a think about this before.
That's fine. Yeah, cool. That's good.
So, I mean, not that it
I think most people know it's coming now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So not that it probably counts, but I did, as a small kid, I started off with judo. So,
okay.
My mum took me down there.
Cool.
And I started with that. I don't know how old I was, but, I was a little tacker.
Yeah.
So, doing the judo. So I did that not for long. I would say it would have been less than 12 months. So it wasn't for me at the time. Like, I didn't appreciate it at the time. And I think as a kid, the rules were probably different. I remember, sparring with the instructor and, you sort of get your grips and, try trips or a few little throws that I think we were allowed to do at the time. And it just sort of didn't work very
limited,
well.
Though.
Yeah, and that's it. Like with an adult instructor against like a little kid.
Yeah.
I think our legs are only like this long at the time. And like trying to do trips. I know a few times I remember there, he was like, you're doing it. And he was actually having trouble because I think, we're so small and our center of gravity is so low. We could just sort of just dance around almost.
Yeah.
And then he would just end up swinging us around and then just like putting us on the mat sort of thing. So I don't think there's a Japanese word for what he was doing to get us down. But, But yeah, so that was that. And for me, it wasn't, at the time, it wasn't, I guess I wasn't enjoying it enough to keep going back. So
I'll ask you about something about that real quick.
Yep.
Switch camera soon. Did you feel like because you didn't have any success as far as like any progress, being so small, obviously, and whatever, do you feel like that sort of made you not lose interest in it?
I think that's it. Yeah, it's just I almost didn't know what I was doing there. It was like, and I had no direction, I guess. So for me, it was, I don't even know why my mum took me down there initially. She probably was talking to some friends and they said, oh, my son or someone goes to judo, like he's enjoying it. So she probably took me down there just to, try it out, experience it, which is good to do. But I guess, even when you're that young, you don't sort of know what's going to gel and what, it's not going to work at the time. But it's funny though, like looking back now, it's like everyone, I wish I started earlier. I kind of did there, and man, I wish I was like, I stuck with judo because these days I would be like a...
Just if you could tell the future, huh?
Just, on the mat. Okay, we're starting standing, which we do at Bairnsdale MMA. So, that would be a whole different world sort of thing.
Yeah, man.
Being a well and truly seasoned judoka.
That's the one.
This stage.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was my,
introduction to martial arts.
Introduction, very short lived, and then I went away and did a whole lot of other stuff. Played, tennis and golf and a few sort of more. I was never into really, I guess, team sports so much. So I went and did more individual sports, and then I got quite a bit into, doing weights and sort of almost like just weight training and stuff.
Yep.
And that took me through quite a few years. at my peak, I was probably 110 kilos or something. So
yeah, I've seen some pictures, bro.
I hope
God damn.
Yeah, and I think
Shit.
some of the previous ones, even bigger still. I don't think I've got photos, but I think I would have given Seth a run for his money at one point, sort of thing.
Yeah, man, you were big, ripped.
Yeah. So
how long did you do that for? Sorry,
that was
roughly?
that was from my early 20s until I guess early 30s. So probably 10 years.
Oh wow!
I was like, just because I enjoyed it.
Yep.
Like for 10 years, I just enjoyed going to the gym, doing the workouts, and just lifting big weights and stuff. And then after 10 years, I was like starting to get a few little niggly injuries and stuff, knees especially, because I just don't have that big build on my joints and everything. I'm not, some people, Seth, I guess they just got big.
Naturally.
Yeah.
He's an Islander.
Big build.
He's an Islander.
Yeah. Because, my joints and that are small. They're just not built for taking those weights. So,
No, that's why I've never been.
Yeah, similar.
I'd never,
Yeah, you can do it, but your body really, I think, takes an extra toll. So,
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, also it was just I started losing interest in just going in there, just grinding it out, sort of thing, and just in isolation. So, and I remember, I think I took it a year off work in my early 30s, and I got into it. I was watching The Ultimate Fighter, I think season 3.
The Tito Ken. Series.
So I remember at the time, like thinking like Tito was a fantastic coach or something, and I was thinking he's a man.
Dude,
I'm not
in
quite
contrast against Ken on that, he looked like a fantastic coach.
Yeah.
Ken was like, get bodybuilders in.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you doing? Yeah.
So it was watching that. I'm like, okay, I think I could get into this mixed martial arts sort of thing. So
okay. So it was actually MMA that inspired you to start.
It was,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
okay, cool.
I was thinking, okay, I need to look for an MMA gym.
Yep.
And that's where I was living in South Melbourne at the time. So I just sort of did a search in the area, what was nearby, and I found there's a few. There was I think there was a Gracie gym down on Chapel Street, and there was Dominance in Richmond. So just that area, and I just looked at reviews online. I knew nothing about which gyms were good, which gyms were bad at the time. And I saw that Dominance just had I think they had a little forum or something. They had a little bit of interaction between the club members.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, we'll go and give that one a go. So I might have even just filled out an online form. I was interested, and then Dave Hart, the head instructor there, he gave me a call and had a quick chat, and he said, come down for a lesson. Which one do you want to do? Like the Muay Thai, I think they were offering, or the Jiu-Jitsu. I thought, I'll start off with the Jiu-Jitsu,
right,
and then I'll probably move on and do a bit of Muay Thai class, a bit of both.
Yep.
But when it came to it, after my first class, Jiu-Jitsu, that was it. I thought,
just fell in love with it right off the bat.
Fell in love with it, but also
what was it about it?
How hard it was.
Oh, okay.
Both
not that Muay Thai is easy.
No, but it was I realized from my first class, I'm not a professional athlete. I wasn't going to be able to commit to doing both classes, so I'd end up just going in there, doing maybe one Jiu-Jitsu class a week, one Muay Thai, go away. So I'd end up sucking it both.
Oh, yeah.
Essentially.
It takes a bit more to,
Yeah, so I thought, but rather than sucking it both, I'll focus on one, which was the first one I tried, and I loved it from the beginning.
Yep.
And, focus on that as much as possible, and just ran with it. And I thought maybe in future I could go back and, take up the striking later on. But, again, just, life as well.
Yeah. So you do have a genuine interest in striking.
Yeah.
Not necessarily competing or maybe even doing it, but just in it itself, as far as watching
absolutely.
it, respect for it. And
for me, I've always enjoyed martial arts. So I guess even back as a kid, even though I didn't get into it, I love watching the Bruce Lee movies and all that. I was a
Steve Seagal fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Breaking arms.
I'm like, Aikido is the best. I'll do it.
When I was young, I tried it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I used to love it.
All these different things, but at the end of the day, you got to sort of choose, with work and whatever other commitments you've got.
Yeah, definitely.
And with Jiu-Jitsu just being so technical as well, you can't put too much time on the mat. It's the only way to improve, and the more time you can spend, the better you're going to get. It's just there's no way around it. Some people are a bit gifted, but even though they're still putting a lot of mat time.
The best saying I I've heard about that is it's not who's good, it's who's left.
Yeah.
That is so accurate, man.
That's it. I'm sure there's been some phenomenal athletes that have come and gone, and
that's right.
Here we are. We're still here.
That's it, man. That's exactly right.
But yeah, I did. I did do Muay Thai for a little bit there. So I guess fast tracking a little bit.
Yeah.
From dominance, I was there for 6 odd years.
Yep.
And then again, I was starting to get over it because their whole mantra or ethos or whatever is eat, sleep, train.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Which is fine if you want to compete and, all that sort of stuff. But for me, it was more for fun, social. I love the martial arts. But yeah, the competition was my least priority, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, cool. Nothing wrong with that at all.
No.
Yeah.
I think...
I'm not much of a competitor. I want to spend my time becoming the best instructor.
Yeah.
The best teacher I can be, man. I mean, I want to be decent in my belt, in my rank or whatever, of course.
Yeah.
But my job's to build, change people and help people and all that sort of, that's all my focus is.
Yeah, well, that's it. I guess, from doing your classes as well, I can totally see that. And you're a very good teacher. And
cheers, man.
Even I've been impressed with how well you retain information. So I've I've been to classes. I swear, the next time I'm back on the mat, that's all gone.
Yeah, that happens to a lot of people though, man.
Yeah, but
it really does. Yeah, Seth blew out on the same thing. We went to an Eddie Bravo seminar, and Eddie just laid out, right, we're doing this, and then you go to this, and then
Yep.
And he finished, and Seth turns and he just looks at me, and I'm like, I got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just smashed it, yeah. And then the dude's next to us like, what are you doing? Like, teach them. Like, I don't know. I've just always had I reckon that comes from teaching myself to play drums.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just by ear and things and having to remember. I think music played a huge part in that. Like, I can hear a song now I haven't heard for 20 years, and I'll still be able to play it on drums.
Just straight back into it, yeah.
And I think that's what it comes down to. Honestly, that's what I can attribute it to. If I had to guess,
quite likely, because I can't play a musical instrument. So
so I sort of like forced myself just out of the passion to want to do it. Yep. Never did lessons or anything. I ended up touring in bands and all sorts of stuff. So it's just passion. I always tell people at school, man, like this might, I was asking what was the worst subject you had at school? Like what were you the worst at, right? And they'll tell me whatever, and I'll say, did you like that subject? And I'm like, no. What was the best? What were you the best at? And and they'll tell me, and like, did you enjoy it? Like, yeah. If you enjoy it, you'll retain the information. You'll
certainly helps. Certainly helps
for sure. Like, if you're not interested, I'm not saying you're not interested, or people aren't interested, but I mean, Eddie Bravo told me you need to learn how to learn, and he said that if we're in a war and we're in the trenches, and I had 5 minutes to explain to you how this gun works, you'd remember every detail.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right? Because you need to do that when you come to class.
Yeah.
You need to bring that mentality when you come to class.
Yeah. No, that's probably a really good analogy, and quite likely then maybe that's a difference between why you retrain so much, and then maybe with my different, I guess, outlook on how, I go with my jiu-jitsu. Maybe that's half the reason I'm not retaining as much.
Seth's different too, man.
Yeah.
Like, Seth knows the jiu-jitsu, but he's not really great at explaining the jiu-jitsu.
He can just show us by spinning around beneath our feet.
Doing the crazy shit he does, yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, everybody's different, and that's absolutely why I think I should teach.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why. One of the reasons I'm like, it has always happened naturally. I went to train in Thailand at the Fight Lab there. They got one championship fighters and whatever. I found myself at the end of that class teaching them no gi. Just something they wanted to learn. They see me doing something. Oh, here I go again. So it's just always followed me, man. At seminars where I retain the information, the guys next to me don't. I was like, show us this, teaching them. Yeah, it was just always there. I don't know. It's weird.
That's great.
Yeah, strange.
Yeah. Well,
but so yes, dominance.
Yeah.
Their whole mantra was a bit full on, and you wanted to sort of just chill and.
Yeah, like I was happy just to go in, and I found I still wanted to train regularly. So say 3 times a week for me is perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
So if I can do 2 structured classes and then a Saturday open mat or something, then that's spot on for me.
Yeah,
but
cool.
I never wanted the pressure of I guess the competition and stuff. Like that was in my younger days when I was a lot more aggro,
of course.
I guess. I remember tennis, I was probably more violent on the tennis court than I was on the jiu-jitsu mats.
Cool.
But so I guess And maybe, yeah.
No, you mellow out when you get older, bro.
I think
I'm chilling out.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
So, but yeah, I still stuck around there. I think I joined there in 2008 probably 2008. And I think I was there for around, 6 years. And so I got my 4th stripe on my white belt in 6 years. So I guess that tells you something about how well I was tracking or not.
Yeah. But was that sort of you'd have months off at a time or chunks off at a time? See, I did the same thing. It took me forever just to get through that, And
in doing that as well, I remember from when I first joined to when I left, the syllabus had changed as well. So they had a syllabus like for each of the stripes and then for the blue belt, which is pretty much all of them combined, but you had to demonstrate all of those techniques to like quite a high level. So for me, he told me, you're next for your blue belt type thing, but that meant having to dedicate quite a lot of time on weekends and whatever to nailing that syllabus.
Oh,
and
wow.
It was close, I think 140 techniques or something.
Right.
Which is, it's not, I'm sure I know that many today, but
But when it's under like,
it was like studying for an exam, and it just at that time where I was with my head and everything else going on, I was like, nah.
Just real quick, what's your because obviously you've seen other ways that it gets done too, right?
Yeah,
like people get promoted and whatever.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? Do you think it's a good idea to have that strict syllabus, and make like you were saying? I mean, if somebody has the approach to jiu-jitsu, they just want to chill and have fun.
I still think the syllabus is a very good idea. So that's what coming here I wasn't sure about. I feel we should have a syllabus.
Yeah.
So yes, I've been from Dominance. I then went to a couple of other clubs, and they were nowhere near as
structured.
Structured, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. As that. So when I went, I took a year off after Dominance, and then I went to Combat MMA and Fitness in Richmond again. They're on Church Street or something.
Yep.
So Dallas Twentyman, he was a coach there. He's now a Sia Polista black belt.
Oh, nice.
So, but that was quite different. So that was a lot less structured. And then when I got my blue belt there, they didn't do too much at all. Like there was it was just the normal thing. Like I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And on the day, like they didn't say, I think even who was being graded, but the instructor went around, rolled with everyone. So I made sure on the day, just with the experience, I thought, maybe they might promote me. So I made sure I rolled really well when the instructor came over. And then at the end of the class, it was like, here's your blue belt type
I've
thing.
seen that before too, that way,
Yeah, so that was how that was done there. So it was, Sia Polista sort of grading.
Yep.
And then I got my purple from Dion Perkins. So that was like sort of halfway in between, I guess. So
how long did you go from blue to purple?
So that's where I looked it up beforehand.
Okay, right, cool, yeah.
Because I knew this would come up. So I got my blue belt,
cool.
10th of December 2014. So then my purple was on the 21st of May 2017.
Okay, that's pretty on track. Yeah.
So that was, that was around the time I was looking at buying the business in Lakes Entrance.
Oh, okay.
And I knew that was coming, so I was like, man, I've got to train. I want my purple belt before I head up here.
Yeah.
So I guess, again, that shows, if you put your head down and
put the work in,
that's the difference.
Yeah.
And the grading there, they didn't have a syllabus either. But the grading was, they would tell you who was being graded, and then you'd be in a hole. So, I think it was 1 minute per person, rotating in fresh people all the time.
Okay, right. How long did that go for?
I think it was, how long was it? 15, 20 minutes or something, I think. It was different lengths for different belts. Yeah.
That's what the AT is as well.
Yeah, so the purple, I think that's what it was.
Smashed.
Yeah, it was horrible. So
horrible in a good way for some reason.
Yeah, pretty much all horrible.
It is pretty much all horrible, I won't lie. Yeah,
it was no good.
Brutal.
But, it, like you said, I guess once you get through that and out the other side, it's especially satisfying, I guess.
It is.
And
it does a lot for you, I think.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, that's just that final step with the...
Yeah, well, I didn't know what I was in for when I got mine.
Yeah.
Evie knew for 2 months.
All right, yeah.
And Ninos obviously told her, don't say nothing.
Yeah.
So I just thought we were going to see Ninos in Melbourne while we're in Melbourne. I'm like, yeah, cool. I thought I'll bring my gi. And we took the early morning train. I hadn't slept, didn't really eat because I don't really eat much during the day. And, I wasn't at all prepared in any way at all.
Yep.
Lines everyone up on the wall and from white, blue, so on and so on. And he walks around and picks someone, says, get in the middle.
Yep.
And at that point, I sort of had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
He was getting closer to me, and I was sort of like going, you know what I mean? Like, as much as I wanted a blue belt, I just wasn't ready for it.
Yeah,
and like just physically and whatever,
I know what you mean.
And then you sat in the middle, and then it was a bunch of gazelles surrounded by lions.
Yeah.
And then so on and so on.
Yeah, but it's good. It's like, I'm sure it's the same in all gyms when they do that. If there's a lot of encouragement for the people, everyone's, yelling and screaming a bit, clapping, and then
back to what we did, why it was so good.
Yeah,
was Nino said to me that the idea of it is sort of to die and be reborn.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that once.
Yeah, and I thought that, to me, I'm thinking that's pretty dramatic, but I understood what he meant afterwards. Like, I got back to the gym with this feeling of like, you guys can't do what they did. You know what I mean? Like, I just felt like, and there were moments. I'm not going to lie to you, man. There were, I was just smashed. It was like maybe 20 minutes in, and just getting smashed. And I was starting to think in my head of reasons why, I'll come back and do it another time. You know what I mean? My mind started playing tricks on me. Like, I was just so exhausted mentally, physically. Like I said, I wasn't ready for it at all. I wasn't, and then the idea of knowing that I didn't quit, that's empowering.
That's the key thing, I think. Yeah, that, and then trying to just rely on the fundamentals. Once you get higher,
that went out the window, bro.
But that's it,
when
right?
My exhaustion went.
Yeah, they do to an extent, but at the core of it is just protecting yourself.
You're right. Yeah.
I mean, when I'm saying fundamentals, it's barely even being able to bridge because you're so tired, but just keeping your elbows in and just protecting your neck and arms and legs. That's just that bare minimum. You get
to the point where they just grab your wrist and you're like, yeah, all right. just all right, man, cool.
Almost, but I guess that's it, isn't it? It's just trying to
it's all mental, man. That's what's beautiful about it.
Yeah.
It mentally just strengthens you big time.
Exactly. And then they, Perkins as well, they do the gauntlet at the end, which is, we've run down all the whipping, which is...
Oh, I got that.
It's good fun. Honestly...
Really? You think?
I think that was like a highlight almost. Like,
wow.
That was almost again. That was again. It's about the camaraderie, like the.
Yeah, you're right. No, it's cool. I agree 100%. But going through it at that time wasn't good because I didn't know, right? And then I'm like, after that brutal grading, I'm like, yeah, it's over. I'm sitting against the wall drinking water, like waiting for everyone else to finish.
Yeah.
And then I realized I had to go through that shit. And I was like, come on, really?
Yeah.
So that's why it sort of was like, oh man. But I don't know. I guess it's fun.
Yeah. Now for me, it was like. It was just that final sort of thing. It was just almost like acknowledgement, almost like And to be honest, the pain of that was nothing compared to the smashing in the middle.
That's true.
So
I did end up blue and black from the whippings.
Oh yeah. I wasn't too bad. So.
Yeah, no, I got smashed.
Because this day and age, everyone has to be so careful, about injuries, and everyone's so PC that, Dion was very specific about what was. Okay, and what wasn't. So,
it was basically not the face and not the balls. That's what we got.
Yes.
Go for it.
Yeah. To be honest, it wasn't much past that, but they're the key things, really.
Yeah, so. Of course. Yeah, you got to obviously be smart about it. You can't just go like Mad Max on that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Which some people, potentially might, but yeah.
Man, I've seen people tying knots in their belts.
Really?
That was hardcore. Kids tying knots on that.
Really?
I ran through my whole thing like that.
Yeah.
That's just how I did
it.
Yeah, that's the only way I did it. I've seen other dudes go and do it like this. I'm like, you crazy?
No, you don't want that stray little flick.
No. That's all it takes. Yeah. That's all it takes. Yeah, cool. That is good to know. I did not know a lot of that.
Yeah, no, I thought listening to some of the other podcasts, I found it sort of really interesting hearing about
the backgrounds and some
why
of it surprised me.
And those sorts of things. So,
absolutely.
I thought
it's good to know as a coach.
Opportunity to sort of share. And
I should know this stuff.
That's it. Like probably both ways. It's interesting, to the people we're teaching that I guess it's interesting to see. I guess as a coach, a lot of people ask me, how long have you been training, all this sort of stuff. And I tell them, but I probably haven't told everyone the full story like I have here. So
yeah, well, that's what it's good for.
Yeah, exactly.
Hash it all out. Boom, put it all out there.
Yep.
I'm not really doing that with me. I'm just sort of dropping nuggets over episodes, and people can just piece it together.
Remain a mystery.
That's the one. As far as your teaching, man,
yep.
Do you think taking up that teaching role has helped your jiu-jitsu?
It has.
And how so?
Yeah, it definitely has. So I guess going back to what I was saying before and trying to retain the information that's being taught.
Yeah.
So that happens more for me when I've sort of had to really focus on what I'm teaching and the details of it.
It'll make you far more technical.
Yeah. So
when you teach as well,
there's still heaps I've taught. It's funny. I think it was Mark one day. He said, I did this great grip break that you showed me one day.
Did I?
Yeah, I was like, actually, no. He was from the sideline telling me, do the grip break. I'm like, which one? The one that you told me.
It's bad when that happens.
I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, so, it's all good.
But yeah, it definitely has helped to focus on the little details and also being, like I was saying before, out in Bairnsdale that, we just don't have the access to the high level, guys that
all the time,
Melbourne does, Melbourne, you have half a dozen black belts on the man every class sort of thing.
Whenever, exactly.
Just all the answers are there. Yeah. Whereas here, it's I'm looking on YouTube, whatever, just to.
It has pros and cons, man.
Yes. Yep.
One, I think, is we have to get creative.
Yep.
Right. I mean, if you're getting instructionals and things like that these days, and there's YouTube, I mean, really, you can learn a fair bit from just that. If you've got good training partners and regular training and all that sort of thing, if you understand what's going on.
That's the key thing, I think.
Which is why you need to be able to ask the questions in a class.
Yep.
As opposed to just staying at home and learning on YouTube.
Yeah. No, I remember, looking back to when I was a white belt, if I'd watched the same videos then as I am now, it would have been almost meaningless.
Right.
I watch, if I'm going to teach a specific technique in the class, I just want to check YouTube beforehand.
Yep.
And just make sure what I'm teaching is still relevant for today. Yeah, so that goes back. I think we were having that discussion just before this where, the initial guard pass that was taught.
Yeah.
Is it
the over-under almost?
It's a setup for a triangle. You just don't do it these days. So that was what the Gracies taught initially. And then it's now you don't do it that way.
Jiu-jitsu moves so fast, man, compared to every other sport.
Yep.
It really, really, really does. Compared to any other martial art, anything. It just progresses so fast. Yeah, so many people are trying to get the edge too, so they're trying to find better ways to outdo that person, and for that reason, that's just a whole new level again. So I guess I don't look into that so much because I'm just teaching the fundamentals. So that's a beautiful thing though, man. The fundamentals. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
And even that, I was like, I wanted to make sure that they were all still relevant as well, which is a bit hard because I guess that's where I've seen the biggest challenge coming here is just making sure we're still staying relevant with what's going on.
Yep. Well, I'll give you a quick story.
Yep.
Seth went down to headquarters
to
train, and Ninos taught him the exact same back control I taught him.
Yeah, beautiful.
So that was nice to find out.
That's very encouraging, yeah.
It is, yeah. It's happened a few times. And we sent 4 guys down to headquarters for qualifiers. They all got in.
Yeah.
So we're doing something okay, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's good to know. I'm definitely not the sort of guy that ever goes, oh, look what we've done. I'm not that guy. I'm always what needs to happen next.
Yeah.
That's me. But the few things that have stuck out to me is those things, is knowing that we're doing pretty bloody good.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We're hanging in there. So with those teams in Melbourne.
Yeah. That's it.
Brought back a few medals and we're doing all right.
Absolutely. I mean, considering, the size of the team being so small that it gets sent down.
And being so far away and all those things we just brought up where we don't have access to the cutting edge techniques and whatnot. But, I mean, we do. I mean, I can obviously get a hold of Ninos and work things out that way. But like you're saying, having however many black belts on the mat every day, make a huge difference.
Yeah, and even just with the fundamentals, just making sure that, there's all the details are still the same. So, I think some of them have been refined over the years and just making sure that the way, I saw
definitely.
Probably one of the best examples was one of Lockie's videos with the triangle choke.
Yep.
I mean, we've been doing triangles since day dot, but yeah, some of the details that he put in there were like real eye openers. So.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, so, I'm proud of my triangle.
Yeah.
And I've spent years and years and years, man, just doing everything I can to make it best I can. And that was one person that showed a few things. I was like, oh, no doubt. That's a game changer. And I teach it that way now, and I cannot think of any way to possibly make a tighter triangle anymore.
No, it's horrendous. You don't even need to pull the head or anything these days. It's just lock it in. And
as opposed to when we first started.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a good example.
Yanking the head and squeezing like crazy, and the guy's still just sitting it out like, what's going on?
I know, it just creates enough of a frame to get a bit of blood here, and you're just like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah, you're just blowing out your legs and everything, and you're just waiting it out, and didn't work.
There's too many options now to adjust.
Yeah.
It just evolves. Yeah. I love it. That's why you'll never know it all.
Oh, hell no.
Freaking awesome. But as far as teaching, man, I found it just makes you way more technical.
Yes.
For those reasons exactly. Like you every day are running through your head and explaining to somebody the same questions.
Yep.
And everything that are the most important things because they're the basic fundamental things.
Yeah.
You know, so when I'm teaching somebody an armbar or whatever, a pass or no matter what, every day, the same one, right? They're going to turn around and no doubt ask in the same field of the same question a lot. And because I've had to reiterate that so many times, I cannot forget it now.
Yeah.
So now I don't forget.
No, that's it. And that's that's what, I think is, I was listening to a podcast
just a matter of practice what you preach.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
It is. But the fundamentals, they never go out of style. Like you're saying, they really haven't, they've changed a bit, but, once you got the fundamentals down, they'll stand you in really good stead. And I was listening to a podcast the other day with Rafael Lovato Jr.,
Yep.
and he was talking about this timeless jiu-jitsu where you sort of, he seemed to think, you sort of go through this cycle. You start off with fundamentals and you get all crazy with all this stuff. But then when your body starts slowing down and you're not as flexible and all sorts of stuff, you sort of revert to the fundamentals. So
true.
Yeah.
I tell my guy, I've had this conversation with some guys before in the gym and said, look, I wish I thought this back then. I wish I knew this back then. Be careful what you spend your time learning.
Yep. Because
exactly that reason. Like eventually, if you build your game on physical attributes like speed and strength and whatever, all that shit goes away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Eventually. So if you want, for the longevity of your jiu-jitsu, if you still want to be good and effective when you get old, learn that stuff now.
Yeah. That's it, and just I guess focus on the key things and the pressure and those sorts of things.
The things that will never, like you said, go out of fashion, man. They're always going to be a key part of jiu-jitsu.
That's it.
Yeah, like the rubber guards, awesome fun and all that sort of stuff as well. But and do what you got to do. What you want to do. It's art. Express yourself however you want to do it, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But that's very true what you say.
No, that's sort of.
Very
I
true.
guess as I age as well, I'm sort of noticing, and it's sort of. It's just again, I guess the focusing on the specifics of the techniques. Once you get the pressure and once you get to good top positions, and then be able to finish it. Even with simple, chokes, cross collar chokes, and those sorts of things. If you've done everything right and pressure and everything,
the Gracie's man is still successful. Look at Hodger Gracie, cross collar choke is just an animal with it. Oh, Kron Gracie as well, man. Like he does nothing but rear naked chokes, straight arm bars. There's no fancy stuff in that. It's just fundamentals and timing and.
That's it. So that sort of gives me hope for the long run as
well.
Oh,
dude, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you should definitely have that hope, especially in the gi.
Yeah.
That's absolutely. Where I'm starting to realize as I get older, I'm like, you don't see many middle-aged advocates for no gi for a reason. It's too fast. It's it's scrambly. It's very physical, and whereas in the gi, you get to slow it down, a bit more technical. So I can see myself eventually
coming back to it.
Coming back to the gi, my man. Yeah.
Right.
Eventually that'll happen, but I'm so much of an MMA grappler. I just love that. So, anyway, you moved down here because.
Yeah, so I've got a little accommodation business called Lazy Acre Log Cabins in Lakes Entrance.
Yeah.
So that's that brought us from the burbs out this way, and been good actually. Sort of a lifestyle change, but so far so good.
Loving it.
Yeah, no, I love it. Like, I've got no reason at all to ever go back to the burbs sort of thing.
Yeah,
so
right
being
on.
an outdoorsy person.
I was going to say that. Yeah, it'd be perfect for you.
Yeah, so go out fishing up into the hills, whatever. So
it's literally what it says it is, log cabins.
yeah, so there we've got 9 self-contained log cabins.
Nice.
They're all like 2-bedroom, different configurations.
Yep.
Some with bunks, some just singles, and they've all got queen beds in them. So yeah, that's our little business.
That's
my
awesome.
wife runs that.
Yeah.
I work at TAFE Gippsland. So that's keeping us busy.
All those people from Melbourne come down to give us the the virus. No, when everything's open up and everyone's back, that's where you're going.
That's it. Yeah, if you want to come down and sort of stay with someone who loves their jiu-jitsu as well. And
yeah, man, absolutely. I want to get like Ninos and the guys down. I want to get them to come and stay. And
yeah, well, that's it. I believe there's a few who are keen fishermen as well.
oh,
so
hell yeah!
you can always get
if
out
they're
on the boat.
listening to this, yeah, they're always asking me, man.
Come on
all
down,
the
guys.
time. Yeah, definitely. Can't wait to have them down just for a weekend, hanging out.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's one of the key. Like with being so far away from Melbourne that we either need to like make the commitment to go down there, sort of semi-regularly.
Absolutely. That needs to happen.
Vice versa, if we can entice them to
that's where
come up here.
Come here, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they try to. I mean, obviously Ninos is a super busy guy, and they all have their own gyms to run as well, and
absolutely
all that sort of thing. But they do enjoy coming down here. So.
Yeah, it's good when they come down. Certainly,
they definitely want to come down and do some fishing. One of them wants to come down. I think who was it? Maybe Vince or somebody was saying he wants to do some forward driving and all that stuff. Right. Yeah, so
I think we could definitely organise a forward drive trip because Adam, who you interviewed on the first podcast.
Oh yes,
he's keen to get out there as well.
He is. He just bought himself a rig and he's like all super pumped. So yeah, that would be perfect, huh?
Head out bush as well and spend a bit of time out there. It'd be good.
Yeah, for sure, man. Do you watch any other sport aside from combat sports? Do you watch combat sports?
These days, I don't. So no, I used to when I had time.
Yeah.
So I guess going back to when I first got into it and I was watching The Ultimate Fighter.
Yep.
I was watching all of the UFCs, but they were only, I don't know, it felt like they were only every 3 months or something.
Dude, tell me about it.
And then they brought in fight nights and then they just started pumping them out.
Yeah. It was after the first Ultimate Fighter, things went crazy.
Yeah, but even
before that, man, it was, we'd wait 4 months for an event. And it was the same person that was in the last one. That fight, Randy Couture.
Which was kind of good because, you sort of get attached to the fighters.
You do.
You've got your team almost.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's true. It was Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell, and Tito.
Yes.
That was the light heavyweight division. The whole heavyweight division was between Tim Sylvia and Andrei Arlovsky. They fought back and forth every freaking weekend.
Yeah.
And
and then you've got a few others.
Pride. I was watching Pride at the time.
Yeah, actually, I've got all of Vanderlei Silva's fights.
Vanderlei, animal.
Even to this day, I hear like Darude Sandstorm come on the radio. I'm like,
dude, you're right. Same, yeah. Every time I hear that song, I'm like, here comes the old wrist roll.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's on.
So,
good times, man.
So, yes, I did used to watch every single one until it just became too much. And
dude.
It's a whole full day's worth of
man.
fights. And I went to the first USC up in Sydney when it came here.
Oh, you went to the good one.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
I mean, I went to the La Ronda one, but that first one, dude, that was the shit.
I was crazy.
It had Pride fighters all through it. It had Vanderlei and Crow. No, it had Crow. Did it have Crow Cup? Yeah, it did. He fought Perosh. Anthony Perosh was a last-minute replacement for Ben Rothwell.
Yep.
And it even had Nogueira.
Yeah. Oh, it was an awesome card.
So many good fighters, man.
I just remember it was awesome. And
sorry, was that the fight George Soteropoulos fought Joe Stevenson?
I don't remember his opponent, but Soteropoulos. Yeah, he was fighting on the day. I think that's who was.
I think it was a Joe Stevenson. Yeah, it was because I remember Joe Stevenson in a press conference like, "Oh, it's good to be back in the UK." I'm like, "All right, man."
Okay.
Wrong side of the planet.
Enough,
but there's a Union Jack. Oh.
But yeah, that was fantastic. I remember flying up there, and the whole plane was just full of UFC, fans and everything.
Yeah,
and everyone's just pumped for it. And
it was the first one.
It was the first one.
Yeah.
And I think it was. It was before it was more mainstream, so everyone who
the
was
ones
there,
they were fans,
they
bro.
were fans, exactly.
Yeah,
I remember we were sitting
I didn't get that in my experience.
Yeah, but we were sitting in the stands and there was, whatever the organisation, AFC fighters next to us, sort of semi-pro fighters just in the, next to us. We having a chat to them and it was amazing because even with Soteropoulos fighting.
Yeah, I know.
And,
George.
Yeah. And sometimes, especially back, earlier on in it, when it went to the ground, everyone was like, "Oh, what's this garbage? Stand them up, just brawl it out." But everyone, it was sort of almost like I think Pride and some of those where they understood the ground game.
They actually appreciated
it. Yeah, they appreciated it.
An educated crowd.
Yeah, it was just amazing. So
that's good.
I'll never forget that. That was quite an experience.
Yeah, you don't see that often.
No,
that's a one-off, man.
Yeah, so that
really
was
cool.
That was amazing, and everyone's just there to enjoy it. So.
Yeah, that is so good. I remember watching it on TV. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that
so
was brilliant.
Happy. It was free on Fuel TV.
Oh, was it?
When they first come.
Yeah, right.
Had their first UFC. Yeah, I remember that day.
Yeah, so that was it. I watched them for a while until it became too much, and since then, don't really follow any sports.
Anything at all?
Formula One, I was watching for a while, but again, that's generally on in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, depending on the circuit, there's just not enough overtaking, so it can be a bit boring at times. But
bit monotonous and
So I sort of I don't mind sports. Like I might watch the cricket or something.
Yep.
In the summer, normally just the one days or something.
Yeah.
I couldn't sit down and watch a test match these days, but
me either, bro.
But yeah, that's about it. Oh, Australian Open tennis. I do look forward to that each year.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, you mentioned before you play a bit of tennis.
Yeah, so I used to play competition back in the day. And
oh, really? You competed in everything?
Just a local competition, just clubs against clubs sort of thing.
I don't think I've ever played tennis in my life, man. You have to show me how to play tennis.
Yeah, have a hit sometime.
Yeah, man. I'll blow a knee out.
Actually, that's
not even
problem,
doing jiu-jitsu. I'll play tennis and I'll
No, I used to play on clay mostly, so that was actually good for your knees. You could slide a bit, whereas once you go to hard court, it's a bit more punishing.
Yeah, I always thought that, man, like the pressure and stopping and starting. Yes. It's like basketball. A lot of knees get blown out in basketball.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So
brutal.
Yeah, but still love watching the Australian Open. So if I've got a bit of time off, I'll go down and spend a day down there.
I worked for a business and we catered for the Australian Open once.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I can cook a little bit. That was cool. I learned a lot from that. I didn't get to go to it though.
Yeah, it's a shame when you're in somewhere cool and you can't sort of
enjoy
out and enjoy it.
Yeah, I could. There's no way I could ever be one of the security guards at a concert that has to have their back to the.
Nah.
There's no way.
Nah, you just.
No way I could do it. I quit. I'm watching.
Just going in. That's it.
Yeah, I know guys who did that. And I'm like, no, I can't do that.
Nah.
Guess what?
What's that?
We're out of time.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Yeah. Well.
So we will get you back, bro.
No,
a lot more to talk about.
Yeah, barely touched it.
Yeah.
I think we even...
we actually covered everything, almost everything I had.
Yep. From
that one question.
Yeah, wow.
Right, it was beautiful.
Flew through.
It does go really fast, man. I'm learning. Yeah. But that's why I've got to keep an eye.
Yeah.
Because we'll go for hours.
You just, once you get in, talking about martial arts or whatever, most of us, you can just keep on going. And
absolutely, man. Look, hopefully down the road, if people are watching the entire episodes... then we'll do longer episodes.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'll be happy to do that. We'll sit around and talk shit for ages.
Why not?
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers,
fantastic.
man. Thanks for coming.
My pleasure.
Get you in again soon, man.
All right, man.